What's up guys, welcome back to SPPTV. Here we are again, working on the Sierra. Been a while since you guys have seen this truck. It's been in previous videos. If you look, there's a playlist. And today we're gonna continue where I left off like a year or longer ago, doing some body work on it. If you saw the last video, you saw we got the box off. That was a bit of a pain. Had to use a torch and a Sawzall. But now I have access back here where I need to finish this up. And then to do the other side, which I'll show you guys once we get to that. All this bodywork stuff I gotta do is one of the last steps to getting this thing on the road finally, and it's about to snow. It's already snowed a bit, so time is now. Let's get her done. All right, so we got our safety shield here, piece of cardboard covering the gas tank with a rag. Over here, what I'm gonna do is just use the flap disc here. Try not to set myself on fire. Clean this up to bare metal and then hammer this into place a little better and then weld it, fiberglass it, done. Well, we didn't explode, so that's a plus, and now it's ready to start fitting tighter to the truck, and then I'll do some tack welds, hold it in place, fit it more, blah, blah, blah.
Any slow-mo spark action?
Definitely some slow-mo spark action. The process here, if you're doing a ghetto rocker repair like I am, you basically, you know, you can see like that little gap there. I'll just come with this little body hammer, bang that flat. You want it to be as easy to weld for yourself as possible. This area here, I'm not sure what exactly is gonna happen, it's pretty far away, but bang, weld, fiberglass, good. I'm just gonna weld this top piece here first. You could use like a hammer or something to push on this and weld it. I decided to go the easier route this time, just use a self-tapper. So holds it nice and close, the gap is really tight, be easy to weld. I'm just gonna use my Flux Core Power Fist Princess Auto Special $130 welder. It's just a flux core, but I've done body work with it in the past and it does the job. Put some bird poo on the top there. It's been a while since I've used this welder. Near the end I kind of remembered how, but anyways, I hammered this down so it's fairly close gap. I'm still gonna have to get the paint off there somehow. Usually with this you would clean the paint off the original panel, the original piece of the truck, and then fit the other thing, because right now it's hard to get the angle grinder in there, but you know, the box was on, so I couldn't have got in there when I did this. I tried messing with the ground a bit to see if that was why I wasn't welding properly there, but I think there's just still a little bit too much of a gap, so I'm just gonna hammer it a bit more and we'll try it again. Because as you can see, it's just melting the patch replacement panel and not fusing to the body of the automobile. Still not perfect, but I'm really not too worried about it because I can fill this whole channel with fiberglass basically. It's already welded all the way around, so it's not going anywhere. I'm just gonna do the best I can to put some good tacks on here, and then we'll get to grinding it down and fiberglassing. I should mention just another quick tip if you actually are doing this. You wanna be aware of what is on the inside of the interior, right? Because if you're welding, it's gonna get hot, so every once in a while I just go in there and make sure there's no fire.
Oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire!
Gonna burn down Clayton's garage. Look at that, bird poop city. It really wasn't too successful in this channel here. I think there's some like body seam sealer. We're just gonna try hit it. Good to go. I was worried it was gonna pop right off as soon as I took that self-tap route, but there you go. It kind of welded, I guess. I don't know. You can see it's decently smooth there. The next step is going to be fiberglass, but like I said, we did the hammer test. This thing ain't going anywhere. I welded what I could with these bad gaps and bad welder myself. So this is what I'm going to be using. Got it at Canadian Tire. It is the Bondo brand, but you can get all different types of brands that are actually better than this. Just going to go over this. That'll seal it up and prevent any water or stuff from getting in there. Exhaust fumes. Bondo. Another thing I wanted to do today is replace this EGR tube. I broke it when I had the intake off for the intake manifold gaskets. But we found one at the junkyard in a previous episode, and I just got to get it off from the back there where it's connected to the manifold. Maybe pop this AC off to be able to get it back into the intake manifold, but it should go pretty quick. It's really tight to try to get a wrench on there. It's an inch wrench to get the fitting for the tube back there, so we ended up just zipping it off and able to get a socket on it. Now we got this breaker bar on there. Clayton's gonna break it. Probably rip the manifold off the side of the engine.
Oh, you're gonna do it. Ow!
Oh yeah.
Fuck!
Got the old one out. Woo, victory. You can see this end. That's where the thing broke off, and I just tried to twist it shut so I could drive. And we'd be shooting exhaust everywhere, and we cut it here. But I threw this new one in, turn the EGR back on, and this thing should be running mint perfect. Finally. 3 years in the making. Got the new tube in place. That fitting went in great. Rob loosened this tube up after we got it home from the junkyard, so the threads are good and everything. Back here it's been pretty tricky. It's just a little turn at a time. I'm like covered in sweat now because just hanging over this engine at that awkward angle trying to tighten it. But it's tight, just gotta do one more snugging turn. We'll get this thing turned around and get to work on the other side, the bodywork. Got her all back together. I'm glad to fix that. Really, I thought I was just gonna do the EGR delete, but we found this hose at the junkyard and it's actually pretty easy to get off there. Not so easy to put on here, but it's done. Got her all glassed up. That ought to do it. I mean, I just wanted to seal it. I tried to fill in that groove there, as you can see. And I'll just give this a quick sand and then some black paint, and then this side's done. Got the truck flipped around now. We can work on the other side here. As you can see, it's pretty wrecked. A little bit of rust back there too, which might, yeah, that might be some metal or some fiberglass. But anyways, I have the patch panel for here, so I'm gonna begin fitting it. I think I'm gonna tack weld it here so I can match the body line perfect. And then the door will have to come off to weld the inside of it, but I'll tack weld it in place first with the body line so that doesn't get messed up. And then the rocker under here, I actually cut parts of it out that are gonna need to be replaced already. And I'm just gonna use some sheet metal to bend, bang, and weld something in place there. So this shouldn't take any time at all. Just like that EGR tube took no time at all, even though it's like 3 hours later now. These replacement panels kind of give you the wrong impression that they just fit and they don't take a lot of work. But after a lot of banging, I've got this gap up there. It'll still have to be sucked in a bit, but it's a start. Because before, when I had this on, it wouldn't even, door couldn't even open, but now it fits. Just moved a bit there, but basically what I got to do is get it in the perfect spot here, get this all lined up as good as I can. The top, once I take the door off, I'll be able to hammer that in a bit more. And then I'm going to vice grip it probably back there somewhere so it holds it in place, and then I'll begin welding it on. But yeah, the fitting is definitely the most time consuming kind of job. I just used the hammer and beat the old sheet metal back a little bit so this would fit, you know, a little tighter, because this door gap, you don't want to add this extra bit of steel and then it'll look all shitty. And yeah, to address some of the comments I know will probably happen, the best way would be to cut this, you know, even and butt them together and weld them, but
Ain't nobody got time for that.
we're ghetto here. This truck's a piece of shit, so we're just doing it this way. Got it fit as good as I felt it needed to be. Put the vice grips there to hold it in place. You know, it's still gonna be fit more, but just tacked it right there a couple times. It'll hold its general area. I got this body line lined up nice, so that should be good. This isn't perfect, but when I weld it, I just have to remember to do that a little bit, and that'll line up nice. This door is gonna have to come off to do a lot of the work and the welding on the inside of that. So I wanted to get the patch panel in place before I remove the door, because I want to get this body line, you know, once the door is gone, we'll be able to do that. So I think now I'm gonna take this door off, and then we'll continue banging, welding, and bird shit it together. At the top here, it actually turned out not too bad. That it's kind of tricky to weld this thin stuff, especially with the cheapo welder, but that turned out okay. I got some good, decent welds there. Here is, yeah, but it's really, it's solid as AF, as they say these days. I used the self-tapper again there to hold it nice and tight in place. That worked well. So where we're gonna continue this tomorrow is doing the back here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this whole area. I'd really like to just like fiberglass, spray foam, something ghetto and quick. And then down here, we're gonna have to like make a piece that's gonna fill in where I've cut out here of the rocker, because that was all rotten too. But all in all today, decently productive. That side is basically done, just gotta sand the fiberglass and paint. And then this side here will be done very shortly as well. As soon as this bodywork is done, the truck needs a windshield and I need to replace the driver's side door hinge pins. And that's everything that it had on the safety list that I got it checked like 2 or 3 years ago. This definitely isn't your typical YouTube how to get it done project, but like everything on our channel, maybe it's just more realistic. That's really the key. I know a lot of people procrastinate like I do, and it's not good. And we should all try quit doing that. So that's gonna be it for tonight, and we'll see you guys in the next video when we continue on this and hopefully finish the bodywork for good.